Hello everyone. Today video we will be discussing about all type of needles using in apparel and leather product. The basic function of the needle: to create passage in the material for the thread to pass through, to carry the needle thread through the material and form a loop which can be picked up by the loop and looper mechanism, to pass the needle thread through the loop formed by the looper mechanism on machines other than lock stitch. Needle parts and its physical characteristic. The needle has various parts to execute different function during the sewing operations. You can see the picture, it's showing you all the parts. The first part of the needle is called butt, B-U-T-T, top end, which facilitate inserting into the needle bar clamp. The next part is shank, the thicker part of the needle held by the needle clamp or needle set screw. It supports the needle as a whole by providing additional strength. Shoulder part, the intermediate section between the shank and the blade. Blade, the needle portion extends from the shank to the eye. This is subject to the greatest amount of friction and hence heat when it passes through the material. Next pass is long groove. It is present in one side of the needle blade for the convenience of the needle thread from the take-up device and provide the protective channel in which the thread is drawn down through the material during stitch formation. Next pass is short groove. It is formed on the other side of long groove towards the shuttle hook or looper, and it assists to throw the loop or needle thread. Next part is eye. The eye of the needle is present in the bottom end of the blade. Needle thread allowing through its eye taken to the bottom area. Scarf. It is clearance cut in the needle blade just above the eye to permit the closer setting of the shuttle hook or looper to the needle. Point. The point of the needle is sharp to provide the most suitable penetration of the material being sewn according to its nature and the desired stitch effect. Tip. The extreme tip shape, the combination with the point define penetration performance. Other variant. Most needles are constructed using these features, but there are a number of exceptions, some of which may have been developed to overcome specific seam issues or simply designed to meet the machine requirement. Let's talk about needle identification. The sewing machine needle is identified with 3 parameters, and they are system of the needle, point of the needle, and the size of the needle. System of the needle defines the dimension of the needle to suit the machine type. Depending on the machine and its stitch type, the needle is designed with variation in length of the blade, shank thickness, type of the eye, etc. It is advisable to check with the machine manufacturer for suitability of the needle system to machine. Second is point, needle point. The needle point is classified broadly into 2 types, 2 shapes: round, set or cloth point, the other one cutting or leather point. Round point needle. There are believed to be around 20 different round point available. Out of these, 6 are in common use. Slim set point are referred to as an accurate round point, SPI we call. This point is used to dense woven fabric as it causes less damage, help to set a straighter stitch and minimize seam pucker. Commonly used for microfiber and densely woven fabric coated material top stitching of collar and cuff in shirt. Set cloth point, also referred to as normal round point, we call R point. This point is used for normal fabric with standard seam as it pushes the yarn to the side. Next is SES, light ball point. The point is used for sewing lightweight knitted fabric. It is sometimes used for fine denim and light densely woven material to avoid damaging the material. Next is SUK needle, medium ball point. This point is used for sewing medium weight knitted fabric. It is also used for medium to coarse denim, particularly sand washed and the stone washed grade. Next, SKF, heavy ball point. This point is used for coarse knitwear and for sewing dense woven elastic. Next one is SKL, special ball point needle, used for medium to coarse elastic material with covered electrometric threads and very coarse knitwear. Let's talk about cutting point needle. Cutting point needles have sharp tip-like blades. These tips are available with the wide variety of cross-sectional shapes such as lens, rounded, rectangular and a square. They can be used while sewing dense, non-fabric based material. They freeze the material more readily than the round point types, hereby generating less needle heat. There are a large number of cutting points, of which around 11 are the regular use. Needle size and the thickness. The size of the needle is generally represented is one of the two way. One method is by number metric. This represents the diameter of the needle blade is 100th of the millimeter measured just about the scarf, but not at any reinforced part of the blade. For example, a NM110 needle is 1.1 millimeter in diameter, while MN50 needle is half a millimeter in diameter. The alternative standard needle sizing method is the Asia numbering system, sometimes referred to as an American system, that uses a number to represent the size. The thickness of the blade is 1.1 mm wide, which is shown NM as 110. You can see the chart to understand more detail about this. Let's talk about needles, thread and the material relationship. Selection of correct needle size is critical to the success of the quality sewn seam. Some important factors to consider are the material type and construction of the garment, the material thickness to be sewn, the machine type used. The sewing thread selection for the garment should move freely through the eye of the selected needle to ensure a smooth passage during sewing. The general guidelines is that the thread should fill 70% of the eye of the needle. How to determine the right needle for the thread? Here, quick way to determine if the thread and the sewing machine needle are compatible. We should take half meter of the thread being used on the machine and thread it through the eye of the loose needle. Hold the thread vertically with the needle at the top. If the needle is too big, it will drop to the bottom of the thread. If the needle is too small, it will stuck at the top of the thread. If the needle is the right size, it will slowly spiral to the bottom of the thread. However, a larger than normal needle may have to be used to penetrate thicker fabric or stitch over the top of bulky seam. Let's talk about needle finishers. Most common finishers or needle coating is outlined below. Needle choice is dependent on the stitching condition and care need to be taken when choosing a particular finish. The different coating result in a different hardness to the needle, making the needle stronger or more resilient to coated fabric. Chrome first finishers. This is the most common coating used and protect the needle from corrosion. The hard chrome coating gives the sewing machine needle a high abrasion resistance. These needles can be used in all type of sewing machines in a wide range of end users. The next finishers is hardened steel or nickel. This needle can prevent rusting and protect the needle from friction during sewing. However, they deteriorate when used in high friction area or thick dense fabric and at high machine speed. For this reason, they are best suitable only for basic stitching operation. Next finisher is titanium nitrate. It used to give a hard and smooth surface to the needle. These needles often have a gold color finish. Titanium coating resists adhesive, improves needle wear and the penetration of the coarse and densely woven fabric. It can also improve a sewing needle's expected lifetime sustainably compared to the other coatings. There are more coatings. Let's talk about ceramic coating. This is for every specialized area. It reduced heat by 20 to 25% and can prevent static electricity before it occurs. The different finishers will affect the performance of the needle with regards to heat resistance, needle hardness and the wear and tear. So, care to be taken when selecting the needle finishing in that it is fit to the purpose of the garment or sewing stitch. Let's talk about needle system. Needles are manufactured for different sewing machines machine using a needle system coding. This is based on the needle specification needed to match the sewing machine specification, a stitch forming implementation. So each system code is based on that needle specification, length of the blade, shank thickness, type of eye, size of the eye, etc. The needle system can be numeric or alphanumeric, and these designations are often created by the sewing machine manufacturer in conjunction with the needle manufacturer. Let's talk about some of important details about needle selection and how to use. Inserting a new needle. Always ensure the needle is the correct needle system for the sewing machine. Make sure the needle size or eye fit the thread size being used. Make sure the needle is pushes all the way into the needle holder. Ensure that the angle of the needle is correct. After inserting a needle in the machine, turn the machine hand wheel manually and make sure the needle is not contacting any part of the machine. That means needle should not touch with machine foot and needle plate and feed plate. What are things to checking the needle in the machine? Is it correct or wrong? Is the needle inserting correctly? Is the needle contacting any machine parts? Is the needle bent? Is the eye rough or blocked with melted fiber? Is the point damaged? If there are any kind of problem you find, we should immediately change needle. Thank you very much. I request you all to share this video and subscribe my channel if you did not subscribe so far. Thank you very much.